What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Gridiron Fantasy. So today I'm going to be going over with you guys what my um, what my sliders are and what my house rules are. So I know a lot of people really want to know what people's sliders are, what house rules they play with, because you know sometimes the game needs a little bit of help, and when you're playing player versus AI, playing too many games might start to get a little stale. So to keep things interesting, to kind of keep you on your toes, here are some house rules that I use for exhibition, and I'm also gonna go over some of the sliders that I use for the sliders that I use in general. So once that is selected, all right. So going into settings, going into game. So my accelerated clock. Now these are the settings for my lean, the 27, the 60, 5 clock speed, injury frequency on 2. Now, when I am playing with base teams, no mod, so if you're using console or if you're using PC, you can use this. If you're using if you're using base teams, this will work best with base teams actually. The accelerated clock on 35, the game speed set to 60, and the clock speed set to 8. That will produce some nice games for you. Or if you're playing against even teams, that'll produce some nice games for you. So I set up an even team match for you guys so you guys can see what I do. So those are my sliders. Here are my house rules. When I'm playing against an evenly rated team, I always do an onside kick. I always give them an onside kick. If I pick up the ball on the onside kick, like I just did here, which I didn't expect me to do, if I pick up the ball on the onside kick, I'm at the 42, so that's reasonable. That's fine. They get the ball at the 42. I might, however, uh, do a quick little play, see if I can get them up to the 50, and I'll get up. If I can get them up to the 50, I'll get them out of bounds at the 50, and then I'll kick a field goal. And I'll purposely botch the field goal so they can get the ball back. And now they have the ball at the 50 or at the 49, and they can do whatever they want. So that's one house rule. The other house rule is that I do not play on defense, and that means I don't switch. I don't do any adjustments. I don't do auto. Well, I don't do defensive auto balls. Either way, I don't do anything. I let the defense play. Now, that also means that I press Ask Mike all the time. And the same thing goes for offense. So when I get on offense, I'll show you guys that as well. I play, I just do Ask Mike all the time. And from what I found after playing maybe 20 or so games, this produces close games against teams that are very evenly matched up. And it produces very, very tough challenges when you're playing against highly rated teams. And I'll actually show you guys a highly rated team and how I play against them. So when I'm playing Axis, I like to take a team that isn't all too good and play against them with a very highly rated team. Now, if you have Axis Football on PC, here's what I would suggest that you do so you can play some games with just base teams and some games with just a crazy insane teams with crazy ratings like I do. So what you basically would want to do is you either create your own teams or duplicate every team file in the mods folder, and then just edit their speeds. Not their speeds, edit their ratings. That's what I would do. But I will say, if you guys do end up editing anyone's ratings, don't change the speed to be super crazy, because playing any team that's 99 overall and they have 99 speed, they're going to be very hard to beat unless you rely on the AI. So that's that. But now that I'm going on offense, I'll show you my offensive house rules. So offensive house rules, I return the ball no matter what. It doesn't matter. Now, he may or may not kick it out of bounds. If he does, then I can't show you guys what I want to show you. He didn't. Good. So when I'm returning, I run the ball back to the 5. I used to do it back to the 1 yard line or the 2, but that created too many safeties, so I didn't think that was fair. But the next thing is I always ask Mike, as I've said, and I ask Mike, but I only give myself 2 downs. So I have 2 downs to convert. If I don't get a first down after 2 downs, that's it. I ran my course. That's it, you know. So they'll get the ball back. So that was my second down. I didn't get it. Now on third down, much like a fourth down, I can go for it. But on this one, I won't. So what I do is, since I haven't gotten to the 45-yard line yet, I'll punt them the ball. But I'll give them a little bit of help on the punt too. So I punt it and I let them return it. Now he's not going to be able to return this one very far, so they're going to end up getting this ball deep in their own territory, but I can't do anything to help them out. So those basically are my house rules. You play and you only take 2 downs. You always use Ask Mike. You give the other team the ball with as little yards as possible, as long as they have at least 45 yards to do something. Now, some teams don't need that boost. Some teams might be evenly matched with you, but they just have better ratings in certain areas. So you might go up against a team who has a great running back that can get 100 yards on his own. And if you gave him the whole field, he probably would have more than that. You know? So I think you guys should really be on the lookout for that. But those are my house rules. That's just how I play. Now, when I really want to challenge, however, I play against 99 overall teams. And I mentioned a little bit about that. So what I personally like to do is I like to play with a team that has all of, really what I want. So that Ravens team that you guys saw me play with in my franchise wish list, I would use a team like that. A team that has a quarterback that can scramble. A team that has some decent receivers, and a team that has, an okay defense. So as you can see, Razorbacks A+. I think most teams are A+ teams. There are a handful of teams that are not A+ teams, because when I play franchise mode, I'll play with those teams that aren't the A+ teams and see what I do against the other teams. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 teams that are in the Bs. Yep, 5 teams. Every other team is an A+ team. So that gives me 5 different teams to choose from. But what I will say is that their speeds just aren't. Their speeds aren't, crazy speeds. So all of the speeds are the same speeds that they should have been. Other than that, So John McCormick has a C speed. I don't think his speed is naturally a C though. But Marv Franklin, Gabriel Reen, Barry Adelman, all of their speeds are just speeds that were taken from another team probably and put onto this team. So that's how every team is basically composed. Now, I will show you I'll show you what gameplay is like and how I already have shown you. So when I play against the 99 overall teams, I can do it from here. I just won't like it too much. When I'm playing against those 99 overall teams, what I have a tendency to do is I just play like I normally would play, but the gameplay is a little more challenging. So you have to watch out for a little more things. You actually really do have to be decisive and such. But those games are a lot more challenging. I do lose in those games sometimes. But those are my house rules. Those are my sliders. And I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have other sliders or house rules that other people might like, or that maybe you just want to share, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would like to see what you guys have. I would like for other people to have a more well-rounded kind of view of what they should do with the game to keep it exciting for them if they don't like the gameplay and they do play player versus AI. Now, if you do coach mode, maybe you have house rules too. I'm not sure. But I hope this helps someone. And until next time, guys,